See, day before yesterday we have discussed regarding the quantitative study. Now we are going to discuss about the qualitative study. Okay, qualitative approach is it's a aim to explore, discover, understand, or describe the phenomena that have already been identified but are not well understood. Okay, so once again I'll tell you that is a qualitative study. Research design is qualitative research aim to explore, discover, understand, or describe the phenomena that have already been identified but are not well understood. Okay, so that is a qualitative study. So quantitative and the qualitative study, it is a first one. What do you mean by quantitative study? It is a type of educational research in which the researcher decides what the study, what to do the study. Okay, that is a quantitative study. Qualitative study, it is a type of educational research in which the researcher relies on the views of the participants. Okay, the type of educational research in which the researcher relies on the views of the participants. Okay, that is called qualitative study. So what is the definition of the qualitative study is, the qualitative study is use words rather than numbers to describe the findings. Okay, so qualitative study, for quantitative study everything we are writing in the numerical, but in the qualitative study use words rather than numbering to describe the findings. The next one is assume the dynamic reality, emphasizing seeing the world from the perspective of the participants. See, example we can tell that moon. Okay, in the moon, whether we can human being can live in the moon, or otherwise not only in the moon, for other the planets also they can going through that. That is we don't know whether we can live or not, we don't know, but they are searching, they are doing the research on that. Okay, that is a qualitative study. Goals is understanding rather than the prediction. We cannot predict this one will come, this one will come, like that we cannot predict. Like a quantitative study we can expect this is a predictions, this is my hypothesis, like that. But here it is, the goal is understanding rather than the prediction. Emphasize the subjective dimension of human experiences, holistic rather than the reductionist. Okay, then association with the interpretive approach, which is discover oriented, explanatory, descriptive, and inductive in nature. Okay, once again the defining the qualitative research, it is a use words rather than the numbers to describe the findings. Assume the dynamic reality, emphasize seeing the world from the perspective of the participants. Goals is understanding rather than the prediction. Emphasize the subjective dimension of human experiences, holistic rather than the reduction. Associated with the interpretive approach, which is discovery oriented, explanatory, descriptive, and inductive in nature. Okay, the types of qualitative study, here it is some of the extra studies also they have given. So whatever they have given for you, it is only 4 or 5 studies are there. That is what are all the things are there in that. First one is phenomenological study. Here it is they have given ethnography, phenomenological, grounded theory, historical research, case study, feminist theory, and action research. Okay, here they have given it's a phenomenological studies, ethnological, grounded, historical, and case study. Okay, so the feminist and the action research will be later in your PG courses you will study. Okay, what do you mean by ethnography? Now we are going to see about each one. Okay, first one is ethnography. Ethnography is a Greek word, that is a folk or people. Okay, it is a qualitative research method used in the social science, particularly in the anthropology and anthropology in the sociology. Okay, it is often employed for gathering empirical data on human scientists. Okay, data collection is often done through the participants' observation, interviews, questions, etc. Okay, the ethnography aims to describe the nature of those who studied through the writing. Ethnography focuses on the culture of the group. Then types of ethnography, that is a macroethnography and microethnography. Macroethnography, it is a research can be broadly defined culture in what is sometimes referred to as a macroethnography, that is a British or English. Okay, so microethnography is nothing, that is alternatively it makes it focus on more narrowly defined ones referred to as microethnography. Example, the culture of the hostel for the homeless, nursing practices of the intensive care unit. Then approach. What is the approach for the ethnography? The ethnography is a qualitative research method. It is used by the anthropologist to describe the culture. Okay, culture has many definitions, but usually consists of origin, values, roles and materials. It's okay, roles, materials associated with a particular group of people. The previously mentioned, there are two basic research approach, ethnography, emic and etic. Okay, emic approach is research involved studying behavior from the within the group culture. The etic group is involved studying behavior from outside the culture and examining the similarities of the different culture. Okay, so types of ethnography, steps in ethnographic research. Identification, culture to be studied, identified the significant variables within the culture, literature review, gaining entrance, cultural immersion, acquiring informations, gathering data, analysis of data, description of the culture, theory, development. Okay, then role of researcher in the ethnography, it is the primary data collection tool, enters the world for the extended period of time, asking questions, observing, participating and collecting whatever data are available. So observe behavior but go beyond it to inquire about the meaning of it. Okay, researchers' role is to make differences from their observations and then to test these inferences over time with their population until they are confident they have an adequate description of the culture. Most set aside bias and the implications belief. What is the role of researcher in the ethnography? It is a primary data collection tool. Okay, it is extended period of time, asking questions, observing, participating and collecting whatever data are available. Observe the behavior but go beyond it and bit inquire about the meaning of it. Okay, researcher role of the make the interference with the observation and then to test these interferences over the period of time population until they are confident they have an adequate description of the culture. Okay, so must set aside bias and implicate beliefs. Okay, advantages of the ethnography. Advantages of ethnography. Ethnography is immerses the project team and the participants, lives in the enables to relationship to develop the research participants over the period of study. Ethnography provides a rich source of visual data and helps to reveal the unarticulated needs. Ethnography captured behavior in the different context of everyday life. Ethnography places a human face on data through the real-time stories that teams can relate to and remember. Ethnography provides understanding behind statistics. Ethnography allows emotional behavior to be captured. By carrying out research in the everyday life environment of participants, it helps to identify the discrepancies between the people say to do what to do. Okay, so disadvantages of the ethnography, that is investigate a complex issue, a voice for understanding, expensive and difficult ethics. Okay, so example for ethnography research is ethnography study to assess the lifetime restaurant. Okay, the main focus of this study is to compare the norms of the workers when head supervisor is present at restaurant and when she absent. Okay, the next one is phenology. Okay, phrenological studies. Okay, phrenological studies is it is useful in the 20th century philological movement dedicated to the describing the structure of experience as they present themselves to consciousness without resource of theory, deductions, and or assumptions from other disciplines such as natural sciences. Describes the meaning of lived experiences about the concept or a phenomenon for several individuals. It has roots that the phenomenological perspective of Husserl, Heidegger, okay, then Sarchus, like that. Okay, seeks to achieve the deep understanding of the phenomena by rigorous systematic examination of it. Its purpose is to describe the essence of the lived experiences based on experience occurring in everyday life by person from all walks of life. Okay, so philosophical tenets, okay, whatever is known most appear in consciousness. Consciousness provides access to the world. All phenomenologicals believe that multiple relations between the individuals with the social context and their lives. Okay, then developing the question, focus is to describe the meaning of lived experiences from the perspective of the participants. Broad question, what is the meaning of one's lived experience? Central overarching questions and sub questions. Role of researcher, what is the role of researcher in the phenomenological theory? It is an instrument for data collection, establishes a good rapport with the participants, explains beliefs through bracketing, then meaning of lived experiences is interpreted with the participant's story. Advantages, in-depth understanding of individual phenomena, in-depth understanding of the individual phenomenon, then research reach data, unique perspective. Okay, disadvantages of the phenomenological studies are it is a subjectivity of this data leads to difficulties in establishing the reliability and validity of approaches and information. It is difficult to detect or prevent research induced bias. There can be difficult to ensuring pure bracketing. This can lead to interference with the interpretations of the data. Presentation of the result is highly qualitative nature of the results can make them difficult to present in a manner that is usable by participants. Okay, so these are all the disadvantages of the phenomenological research design. Phenomenological example, no need. Phenomenological, then third one is grounded theory. Okay, grounded theory is nothing that is a inductive technique developed for health related topics by Glaser and Strasser. Okay, who have found it is a Glaser and the Strasser. It is emerged with the discipline of sociology. Okay, so the term grounded means that the theory developed from the researcher is grounded, or it has roots of the data from which it was derived. Okay, so the next one is what is the philosophy of the grounded theory? It is a symbolic interactism. Human react to things on the basis of the meaning that events have for them in everyday life. See, some of the people, I am giving you example, some of the people Friday they won't have non-veg and Monday they won't have non-veg. It is not a day like we cannot have, if we are having something like that, if it is some curse will come like that. It is not like that, but the beliefs. Okay, so human react the things on the basis of meaning that events have for them to everyday life. Meanings are derived from social situations. Meaning are shaped by dealing with the others. Okay, then next one is how to do the grounded study. It is they have given here, it is clearly that is a questions formulation, then theoretical sampling and interview and transcribing the contact summary and data checking And the next one is developing the conceptual categories and consent comparison, then analysis the memoing and growing the theories. Understood? So these are all the how to do the grounded theory. The grounded theory developing the questions, like questions may not be explicitly stated but can be implied from the purpose. Questions is broad and may change several times as data are analyzed. Basic social process. What is the process of grounded theory? Okay, what are all the questions will arise when we are taking the grounded theory? What is the grounded theory mainly used for? What is the purposes of the ground theory? Give one example for the grounded theory process. Give one advantages of the ground theory. And what are all the types and approaches and the uses of the grounded theory? So these are all the questions will arise when you are talking about the grounded theory. So studies the behavior and the social setting that influences the interactions. It is the participant or and the observer. No effort is made by researcher, but to put aside assumptions. On the contrary, the researcher uses past experiences and assumptions to better understand the processes being observed. Okay. Then next one is the advantages of the ground theory. The researcher should not predetermine or prior about the what he or she will find and how the phenomena should be viewed. Therefore, the value of grounded theory is that to avoid making assumption and instead of adopts or more neutral view of human action is a context. Okay. So this is the advantages of the ground theory. One more advantages also is there, that is grounded theory provides the methodology to develop an understanding of social phenomena that is not pre-formed or pre-theoretical developed with the existing theories and the paradigm. Okay. So what is the disadvantages is, disadvantages of the grounded theory fails to recognize the embeddedness of the researcher and thus observes the researcher's considerably agency in data construction and the interpretations. Okay. So next one is generating theory. Here it is no need to study generating theory and all. Then historical research. Historical research is a systematic collection and objective evaluation to data related to past occurrence in order to test a hypothesis concerning causes, effect and the trends of these effects that help to explain present events and anticipate future events. This include higher criticism of the textual criticism, though items may vary depending on the subject matter, and researcher the following concepts are usually part of most formal historical research: identification of origin data, evidence of location, recognition of authorship, analysis of data, identification of integrity. Okay, the purposes of historical research are to make the people aware of what has happened in the past, so they may learn from the past failures and successes. Second one is to learn how things were done in the past, to see if they might be applicable in the present day problems and concerns. See, for example, we can tell means for the generation gap. Okay, this generation gap is